What's up, guys? Justin Brock here with the Insurance Gurus podcast. And today we have a special guest from up in beautiful Washington State with his amazing background. He's already warned me that a recycle truck may pop in there, but it's real. This is real stuff. You know, these are real conversations, not a fake background. We have so many fake backgrounds on here. So really liking it. Wishing I was up there, Aaron. This is Aaron Cassover from Agent Methods. Aaron, what's up, man?
Great to be here. Yeah, I am sitting out in the woods in Washington State right now, and it's a beautiful morning, but it is garbage day. And so at some point, the trucks can come up behind me, get the trash. And so
hey, it's all right.
It's real.
You got to recycle in a place that beautiful. So
you do, yeah.
So do what you got to do, but don't worry about that. We're going to get into a little bit on Agent Methods. But first, just to kind of let you guys know, this is a little bit of an announcement. Agent Methods is going to be an executive sponsor at Medicare Con 2023. So that is exciting news. We're excited to have them involved. I've been talking to Aaron and Joseph over there, and both seem like really cool dudes that are, you know, trying to just make a difference in the insurance agent community, just like we are. So great synchronization and good partners for us. So Aaron, just give me, we always like to tee everything up with the backstory. Like, why Agent Methods? Why the insurance agent community? What's the Aaron and Agent Methods kind of backstory coming into the niche that you serve now?
Yeah. So we launched in 2009, started building Agent Methods in 2008. So 13 years of working with independent agents. And the story behind Agent Methods, I was consulting with insurance carriers. I had started my career working for a big ad agency called Leo Burnett, and they're the agency behind like all the cartoon characters, like the Jolly Green Giant and Snap Crackle Pop, the Rice Krispie guys. Yeah. And they had started building websites in the 90s. And so I started working with them to help their clients go online. And so, you know, early days of the web, and I left that ad agency and started working on my own and started picking up a few clients, and I landed an insurance company as a client. And you know how this goes. I had one, and then somebody left that company, went somewhere else, and they brought me with them. And then it happened again. And I woke up one morning and all of my clients were insurance companies. And so I was helping them with websites, online marketing, and doing some things like they're starting to dabble in direct sales online, direct to consumer. And I started asking about, you know, agents. Are you providing these things for agents? And I just kept hearing no. You know, agents are on their own. They have to figure it out themselves. And so the insurance carriers, you know, 20 years ago, had amazing tools and technology to go and market themselves online, but they were leaving agents to figure it out. And so I realized that there is an unserved market where the people who are actually out talking with consumers about insurance didn't have these tools. And so 2008, went to work, started building them, launched in 2009, our first version of our online marketing platform. And since then, we release a new version of our software 2 or 3 times a week. And so since 2009, I don't know how many thousands of updates we've posted, but we now, I really believe it's the best way for an independent agent to take their business online and to use technology and the web to grow sales. Right.
So Agent Methods as a marketing platform has been around then for 13 years. Really, that's probably longer than most. I would probably any marketing platform serving the agent community that I could imagine. So I'm sure there's a mountain of experience in there, and especially the carrier side. I didn't know that the insurance carrier side. You know, coming from it from that angle, being able to learn a lot about it, and then say, hey, how can we make this affordable and practical for the independent agent out there? So, and I know affordability is a big thing for you guys because it's not like this is some sort of crazy expensive, you know, endeavor. It's made affordable for most agents to be able to get involved at some level with Agent Methods, which is great. So, so right now, just kind of a high level overview. What are the core things that Agent Methods is helping agents do when they get it? If they got started that first year, what is it going to help them streamline or help them accomplish?
Yeah. So our core product is our website platform. That's
Mhm.
what we launched in 2009, and we've been updating ever since then. And the goal with that is to help agents take their business online, to help them get found, interact with their customers, to do the things they do offline online.
Mhm.
And that's becoming more and more important as the world between online and offline just blurs, where consumers today don't think about e-commerce or digital versus bricks and mortar, and they think about it as being one business. And we know this is happening really quickly. If you think about your own experience, where more and more you're probably ordering things online and picking them up in person. We've seen a huge jump in curbside pickup, 600% increase in 200 years or in
Mhm.
2 years.
Yep.
And if you go to a restaurant, often you pull out your smartphone, scan a QR code,
Yep.
and you go online to get their menu. And in some cases, you go online to place your order.
Yep.
And I was at a restaurant a few weeks ago where we were there in person, but we go to the website to place our order. We go on the website to pay, and those transactions happen digitally. So
Yep.
this blurring is going on. And so taking an agent's business online isn't just about generating leads. It's about really helping them interact with their customers through the entire life cycle. So,
Yeah. We're
building
seeing
relationships.
revolution of, there's, this long era of the point of sale system at a business. And, we got to that point where the businesses that were still taking cash only, there's a few of them out there. It was random and it was so annoying. Now you're seeing the other side of it where it's like, we don't even want you to come to a cash register. Just order on your phone.
Right.
You register what number table you're at, and we're bringing you food. We've done that here in Tupelo too. So, in small town Mississippi, they're doing that.
Yeah.
So it's not like
Yeah.
this big city thing. It's everywhere in the world is adapting to that. And yeah, there is a massive blurring. People with us now. We advertise very heavily in traditional media for our local agencies, but we get a ton of traffic for them coming to research us more online. And
Mm-hmm.
then they'll either convert online to an appointment, a phone call, a lead, or sometimes none of those, but they looked at us online and then come in the office and walk in for an appointment.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a
Mm-hmm.
blurring. They build the trust a little more by going and finding you online. And we're even seeing people come in where they've gone on our website and printed off a bunch of materials from our website and then bring it in for physical appointments or call in reading things off of our website to us. So it becomes a huge portion of, your entire business model.
Yes. Yes. And we know this elsewhere. If you buy a car, you're not going to walk on the dealer and say, hey, what kind of cars do you sell?
Mm-hmm.
You go online and you learn about the cars, you learn about the models, and you really go there to kind of finalize the transaction.
Yep.
And the same thing is true with insurance, where people want to kind of know something. They want to feel like they're educated and informed before they talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like you're saying, where they're printing out your website, they're going and learning. They're still probably going to buy from you in person or buy from you over the phone, because this stuff is complicated
Yeah.
and there's a lot of risk of getting it wrong. And so, if I just go search around and find the best price, that works for airplane tickets. I can do that. And at worst, I might have a 3-hour layover in Chicago.
Yeah.
That's a bummer, but it's I can deal with that.
Yeah.
If I buy the wrong insurance policy, the costs of that is a lot worse than a 3-hour layover in Chicago.
Right.
And consumers know that. And so there's an expectation that you can go online, you can educate yourself, but you're still going to want to go and connect with your agent to make that final purchase, to make the final enrollment.
Yeah.
And so it really is this weaving offline and online that's happening.
Yeah, absolutely. So in agent methods, some of the other features, I know you guys do some things, I believe, in the realm of social management, some of the things that you guys are working on and building out. What are some of those other features that are secondary or tertiary to the web platform builder?
Yeah. So besides being online, we also know that an insurance agent's business is a business that grows slowly over time by building relationships, by retaining customers, keeping customers year after year, so renewals, getting more referrals, cross sales. And so we've looked at other tools available online to help agents do those things. And so besides getting found, besides generating leads, we want to make sure that you're empowered with everything you need to strengthen your relationships with your contacts. And so we do that a couple ways. Social media, you mentioned, we're not so focused on promoting products on social media. So you can advertise on Facebook, you can advertise on social media, but we think about it first as a way to build relationships, that your customers are on social media and they go there to look at pictures of grandkids. They go there to look at vacation photos of their friends. They go there to interact socially. And if you go into that stream and you're saying, get a quote, get a quote, get a quote, you're going to get kicked out. You're going to get silence from the conversation.
Yeah.
So instead, we want to help agents add value, to be present, and to show their contacts, their friends, the people they know on social media, that they are better by having that agent in their lives. And so there's lots of ways to do this. The best is content that's educational, engaging, informative, that people are going to want to pay attention to, that is going to be interesting, and they're going to cause them to lean in, and isn't really self-serving, but is more investing in your client base. And so we look at social media as a really good channel to do that. And the result, of course, is that the agent stays top of mind. The agent gets their name in front of their clients more. And that builds a relationship, builds a sense of trust, creates loyalty. And that means that the renewals stick around. If that customer sees a TV ad that promises them things, as opposed to calling the 800 number, they call their agent. If they have a friend or family member that has a question, they refer their agent, and it kind of gets that loop going.
Yeah. No, I like that. It's just a way to kind of reach out and touch people and not like oversell or saturate your audience with, and that's what so many agents do. Unfortunately, it's going, get a quote, or they'll put these scary life insurance stories up. And I'm like, don't do that. Like, just try to be a normal guy who's also an insurance agent. And if you can mingle in that way and be relatable, you're going to get activity. You're going to get people that'll be like, oh, when I need something, I'm going to call that guy, because he's not a jackwagon that's on here trying to scare me into life insurance. That's my least favorite ones. I see guys that'll come on there and, make some really crazy references to people using, GoFundMe and stuff, in a real negative way. And I'm like, I just can't do that. I just think it's really tacky. Be a real person, be an attractive persona who also is an insurance professional or has a niche, so that when you build that rapport over a long period of time, you can develop high quality customers that want to do business with you, and you're not even really having to sell them. You're just ready for them when they come. But the website, that is where people who are looking for something are going to search for the website, right? And so, and localized, I feel like localized SEO too is huge right now, because, Google wants to send its users to someone who they're going to get the highest satisfaction with. So there's kind of a push away from trying to send them to national call centers to sending them to the local quality agent. The problem is Google needs more local quality agents. And it's not that they aren't everywhere, but they don't know they're there. They're not there if they don't have a website with, maybe the Google My Business listing and some reviews and some sort of traffic to where Google can start to say, oh, okay, this person in, Smith, Arkansas, or wherever they're at, is reputable, is usable, and we can send this person that's near them to them. I think that's something that people miss the mark on, because we're looking at websites, so we'll start talking to an agent somewhere, and you'll look up in their town, it'll be a 50,000 person town, and there's not one quality built Medicare focused website. And you're like, how can that be? Like, there's Medicare agents there, but they just didn't build even if they built a website, sometimes it's something they built on, like, they paid some guy to build some HTML site like in 1999, and it's still sitting there, like a one pager with no working links or the wrong phone number, and they don't even know how to access it anymore.
Right. So, broken images and copyright 20 years ago.
We see that so often, and so there's a lot of room for an agent to come in and just build that presence, a little bit at a time, make it look decent, and start getting traction on there, I think. So,
Yeah.
And it's high quality. It might not be like they're getting just troves and troves of people calling them. But the ones that are finding there are typically high quality, high quality leads, and not really having to sell them, because the site hopefully did a little bit of selling them. So when they talk to them, they're just educating and enrolling.
Yes. Yeah. The bad news with search engines is that the national search is almost impossible for an independent agent to rank in, because you're competing against so many huge organizations. You're competing against all the carriers, Wikipedia, all the big news outlets, so New York Times and Wall Street Journal, and then you're competing with the big online brokers. So national search is not a good place to focus generally. Local search is a different story. Local search is great news because there's huge opportunity, and it's not that hard to rank. Like you're saying, in many places, nobody is really going after it yet. And the process is really pretty straightforward to get ranked locally.
Right.
There's a tendency. I talk to lots of agents that are going online for the first time, and they're thinking, well, if I'm on the web, I can sell anywhere now, and so I'm going to go after all 50 states. I'm just going to cast a broad market, and you still can't do that, because the more territory you cover, the more competition you have, and that just grows exponentially the further and further you go from home. Yeah, and the less of the home team you are. Right. So if you're trying to sell across the country, you no longer have that home team advantage, and you have a lot more competition than you used to. Yeah. So local still applies.
We've seen people build sites in higher competitive areas too, like South Florida versus someone building one in more of hometown Midwest or certain Texas towns. Some of those areas take off way faster than the guys trying to build them in South Florida. And a lot of it, I think, is just the amount of competition they're facing out of those areas. We got all these call centers, all these, so many local agencies in like your Tampa, Clearwater area, because of how many insurance agents and seniors there are there. And then you'll see a guy in, Babalu, Texas, and he'll throw up a website, and, a year later he's getting quality traffic from it, and the other guys aren't. And a lot of that is it's just geographical. And so sometimes you're right, they'll think, oh, I can go after this big area, or I can go after all these people. And I'm like, yeah, but then you're facing intense competition. Like, let's go after these low competition areas. And there's some people that are even building like localized websites, like where you could build, you find a town, I'm trying to throw one out there that I'm not stepping on any of my friends' toes, but if you think of like a small town like Stevensville, Texas, you could do StevensvilleMedicare.com. And a lot of times you can actually kind of skip up a little bit, just grab that low hanging fruit, versus trying to say, I'm going to be Texas Medicare. Well, now you're competing with all these people that are trying to go up for Texas, right? Different types of things. I actually was interviewed this guy on our podcast, Roger Comstock, a while back, and he is just an interesting entrepreneur. He builds trade sites. So like let's say, what town are you in, Aaron, in Washington?
Well, I live in Seattle, Washington.
Okay, so you live in Seattle. So like in this, Seattle would be a big one. It's probably already done, but you get like these guys that'll come in and do Seattle, SeattleRepairs.com or Seattle Trades. And all it really is a listing site, kind of like Angie's List. And these people that are doing this actually killed Angie's List. If you've noticed, Angie's List actually recently rebranded because their results started falling. Because they were the national trade site. You'd look for your local tradesperson, there'd be reviews, all that, and you can still use Angie's List. It's still there. But from an SEO perspective, all these people started going and putting up like TupeloTrades.com, SeattleTrades.com, San Antonio Trade. And what it did is it created these like local traffic hubs for all these tradespeople, and then they just sell the ads on the trades place. And so they just sell those leads to somebody. They'll pay $300-500 a month, and then they give them those. But people can do this do that with insurance too. Or if they just want to service their own agency, it's hyper focus on these areas, just like these internet entrepreneurs have already figured out. So just the evolution of the internet is is pretty wild. But it is important, I think, for people to know, like, getting on the internet isn't about going all 50 states.
Right.
Maybe if you were doing that in 2011 and 12, 2010, you could have had some luck, like with a niche. Like, I know people that came into the Medicare side at that time and that really went hard, and now they're on the top of the world, like grabbing a lot of traffic. But to do that now, and we've been chasing it for a long time, and we're finally grabbing traction, but we've spent $1 million on our website so far. Yeah. So it's like very difficult for most people to do that.
Yes.
So what you're saying is perfect. So Agent Methods gives it a way for people to come in an affordable way, manage and create a website at their local area. And of course, you could use it to get outside of there. You could, I'm assuming, use it to build multiple local websites if you wanted to. Like, if somebody wanted to do what I'm talking about, like Stevensville, Dorchester, like, they start building multiple websites and grab that traffic that way. So,
and to be clear, we do have lots of customers in very competitive, very large markets. So, Metro, New York City, New Jersey,
right?
Very, very urban areas.
Yeah.
And the trick there is, just like you said, not to go after all of Texas, but to go after sort of a niche region in that.
Yeah.
And so I can think of,
like, New York City, you can even go after like one, what do they call them, borough, or you can go after, you can niche down because there's the population hub just in that small area. You start to service a much smaller area. Like in Tupelo, I'm going to go after the entire town of Tupelo, right? Or even a regional area. But if you're in Miami, like, you can almost like focus on a wing of Miami or a certain niche population in Miami. Or I just feel like that's so when people can niche down, and there's still plenty of people in that niche, it's going to get them seen faster. Saying like Miami Medicare. I'm not saying MiamiMedicare.com wouldn't work. I'm sure that's already a taken one, but if it's not, somebody should buy it.
Yeah, grab it now.
Yeah, MiamiMedicare.com. But if you get into those, it's also supply and demand. There's so many more prospects in those areas that it can sustain more websites than Tupelo, Mississippi can. So, but yeah, that's awesome, man. So, anything else? I know we're going to have you back on soon, as we're going to try to do a deeper dive into Agent Methods, but anything else that you would want people to know about Agent Methods before we get off today? And like, where could they find you and reach out to you guys?
Yeah, we're talking a lot about websites, which is like that is your home base. Yeah. And you need to think about your website as being like, it's almost like you're the lobby of your office, where all of your customers are going to go through there. And so, that's step one. We talked about social media, and we do a few other things. We have email marketing. So we have a system that automates cross marketing. And that's probably a good entire other conversation we can have, because there's a lot of really good stuff there. That's often the lowest hanging fruit in most agents' businesses, where they can see really quick, like within 24 hours, return of investment of generating new opportunities by just doing better cross marketing. And we have an email newsletter, and we have an online scheduling system that it's like Calendly or those systems, but what's different about it is that it has an e-sign scope of appointment built into it. So it's built for Medicare sales.
Perfect.
And so we can kind of dive into more of those things. Agentmethods.com is our website. And I always encourage agents to go in there. We practice what we preach. You can go there. You can go to our online calendar and book a time to connect with us and do kind of a deep dive. Everybody's business is different. Everybody's market's different. And so the best thing to do is always just to kind of roll up our sleeves and to talk about your business, who you sell to, how you sell, and figure out the best way for you to use these digital tools to grow your market.
Yeah. And we are also talking to Agent Methods about doing a Go Guru, Go High Level integration probably next year sometime. So
yes,
hopefully that will help some of our customers be able to piggyback off and use a lot of your services and vice versa. I think it'll be a really good conducive integration to simplify a lot of this marketing side for them. So thank you so much for being on today, Aaron. I know we're going to have you back soon. If you guys want to check out Agent Methods, go over to agentmethods.com, and don't forget to head to MedicareCon.com and get your ticket, where you can meet Aaron and the Agent Methods team in person in Vegas in April.
April.
We'll talk to you all soon. We'll have Aaron back on soon again. If you're watching this on YouTube or on a podcast platform, please leave us a review and write a comment below, with any questions that you have about Agent Methods, and we'll make sure to get over to Aaron or Joseph or one of the guys over there. So thank you, guys.
Thank you.